series, which is The Acolyte. And this is, I mean, we had a teaser trailer a while back, but this is like a good story trailer, kind of showing that, you know, something is hunting the Jedi in the High Republic. And it comes to reveal at the end of this trailer, you kind of see a Sith, or, you know, it could be a Sith, it could just be an evil person with a lightsaber. But I love almost like the anime inspired mask by this character, right? It has like a toothy grin look on the mask with the metal.
Yeah, it's super creepy. They've always done a pretty good job of kind of iterating on the Darth Vader helmet. This is kind of funny, right? Because we always because if you look at the original trilogy, like Obi-Wan Kenobi was more than likely wearing those old tattered robes because he was an old hermit and he was in character, and all of a sudden that kind of became the Jedi outfit, right?
They cleaned him up, and
I feel
that's
like
what
the
they all
same
wear
thing-
now.
Yeah, the same thing kind of happened with the Darth Vader helmet. Like, he needed the helmet to live. That was just like life support, right? But now, like, Kylo Ren, I guess he had the helmet as like an homage to his grandfather, but he didn't have any life support in it. But also it had like modular voice on it, which is just cool. It's just cool movie stuff, right? Like, it's no dig on that, but to see a character with the big grin, I'm like, okay, why does this guy have the mask? Like, maybe this is the original, right? Maybe when they created the Darth Vader mask, like the dude with the clay that was sculpting the look before he went in for his creative review was just like, I took inspiration from this old High Republic first like Sith Lord that was running around. But I agree, it's a cool toothy grin, feels very anime, kind of. I haven't watched Chainsaw Man, but I feel like it kind of fits that aesthetic a little bit. I feel like something has like a toothy grin in that show.
Yeah, like Chainsaw Man, or like it kind of reminds me, was it Death Note? Like the big toothy creature in Death Note. So yeah, it looks fun in this. You know, some of, you know, we get to see essentially the guy from in the trailer. Squid Games is the main character, and, you know, his apprentice is trying.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even notice that.
yeah. So the main guy is, and his once Padawan is the villain, and she's doing something interesting we don't see in Star Wars a lot. She's trying to kill Jedi with knives, which is I think is going to provide for some interesting action, right? Rather than just lightsaber versus lightsaber for the whole thing, we're probably going to see some interesting choreography in this.
Yeah, there was some shots in the trailer. It looked like maybe more ritualistic kind of spiritual ceremonies kind of connected to being a Jedi. So seems like we're anchoring ourselves in an age where a Jedi was more than just kind of like a high-level military officer, which is kind of where they were sitting in the prequels.
That's exactly.
Now they're like, oh, it's...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, and it seems like people are going to be kind of like shattering the perceptions of what these Jedi are.
Yeah, like when you go into the Phantom Menace, you literally just see, like, you know, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and then you get to the High Council later on, and they're like just sitting in a chair, really not doing anything, right? Because I just came out of Phantom Menace, I'm like, oh, fresh off this. Like, the original Jedi Council is just boring, and they're just like, you know, so much, I guess, you know, it's too smug to deal with things on the ground, really, at the end of the day, right? So they have the knights doing it, but, like, you're right, like these Jedi's, like, there's a lot of whiter robes. It seems to be like, you know, a lot of reverence to the Jedi still, before they were just like, hey, we're gonna come out here and be quote unquote peacekeepers. But I'm excited to see. You know, I don't know. We've never been to the High Republic in action before. We just had the books. Guarantee a lot of people have not read those books or the comic books, so it's going to be a really uncharted territory. And I think that's a fun thing to deal with, right? You know, not having to weigh into something, you know, that's happened 6 years earlier and 6 years later, kind of like what we have to do with the Mandalorian. Andor kind of had that freedom, right? To not have to deal with anything. Like, we know what we're building towards, but, like, they could do anything they want around anything without having to tie in, except setting up the final pieces. So I'm excited to watch this. We'll have a double episode drop on June 4th in less than a month. So excited to kind of dive into that and you know, get some new Star Wars content that isn't tied to anything we've ever seen before along the way. I have not got to watch the new Star Wars, the Rise of the, or not Tales of the, not Tales of the Jedi, the other one, Tales of the Empire, that came out this weekend. But I'm hoping to dive into this week. The other bit of news here, and this was not Star Wars Celebration, but this is still Star